Today we're sitting down on the porch with Danna, a QHS member whose life is as heartwarming as a home-cooked meal. What paths did she follow to get to where she is today? Let's take a stroll down memory lane and see what's been cooking behind the scenes.
This is a condensed version of my life pre-Arc. My heritage is Scottish, Irish, and Cherokee Nation. On my father's side, his father was Scottish. I did not get the opportunity to meet him, but I understand that my grandparents got married very, very young. They only had my father and divorced not soon after he was born, as my grandmother shared with me that my grandfather was quite the womanizer and alcoholic. They divorced not long after he was born, like I said, and she remarried, and then they went on to have 2 more children. His mother was from the Cherokee Nation, and her mom was full-blooded Cherokee Indian. And a fun fact is my great-grandmother married one of the Dalton gang cousins. And my grandmother told me when she was younger, she remembered going out to the barn and feeding Jesse James. On my mom's side, her grandfather and my grandfather moved over to the United States in 1906 with the entire family. I'm not sure what they did for a living. I think it was architecture, but I'm not sure. I didn't get that information. And I did not get the opportunity to meet my great-grandparents. An interesting fun fact, my mother was named after Mary Queen of Scots, as we are related to the Stuart clan. My grandmother was Scottish and also Celtic. She met my grandfather when they were in the Air Force. They got married, as far as I understand, not soon after they met. And they went on and had 3 children. My mother is the eldest of the 3. My parents are beautiful. They were beautiful folks. And at a very young age in Anchorage, Alaska, they met at age 16 and fell madly in love. And of course, my grandfather said, "You're not going to get married just yet. Wait till you have your schooling. I think it's very important since, my dad wanted to go into the Air Force, and he just felt if something happened to him, my mother needed to be educated." Father went to Texas A&M and then went on to the Air Force Academy. He graduated in 1961. And the day that he graduated, he married my mother. He'd been long awaiting, and they were so thrilled. So then their journey begins. I grew up mainly in the 60s and 70s, and as a child, we moved a few times because, like I said, my father was in the Air Force. 6 weeks before my brother was born, we were stationed in central Louisiana. I was so thrilled when my mother told me that she was going to have a baby. I just couldn't wait. And I used to tell her, "I am going to have a baby doll, brother or sister." And it was so exciting. My childhood was filled with love, laughter, fun. I was extremely independent. I could entertain myself dressing up my baby dolls, playing tea with my dogs and my cats, and I just loved every minute of it. I enjoyed when my father wasn't TDY. I enjoyed spending every waking moment with him. I adored him. A few times my father had been injured while on tour, and that deeply disturbed me. I was very young, and it really, for anybody to hurt anybody, bothered me deeply. And I, as a coping mechanism, sucked my thumb for years and then became bucktooth beaver. So that presented some problems in the years to follow. At age 4, my life changed forever. My family's life changed forever. We received a visit from 2 military men saying that my father's plane had been shot down. They did not know where he was, didn't know if he was missing in action or killed in action. My mom went into a severe depression and checked out emotionally, basically. She then engrossed herself in grad school, going on to get her degree in speech pathology. Many times our neighbors, we had two teenage neighbor boys that would come and sit with us until my mother returned home from school. And they both molested both my brother and I for a few years. Emotionally, I kind of shut down. I was threatened by them, and I felt a lot of fear, sorrow, sadness, and I really felt abandoned. A few years later, my mother met this wonderful man. He's quite prominent in my hometown, a brilliant cardiologist, a wonderful man, and he adored us and married my mother in 1971. He adopted us several years after they married. He adopted us and we took on his name. So it was wonderful. He treated us like we were his own children. Both of my parents spent many of their years doing humanitarian projects, both locally and globally. And we got an opportunity to travel a lot with them when they did these projects. I was considered shy sometimes, but then I was very outspoken. And sometimes it would embarrass my mother because I would speak out so blatantly. I was mostly shy because I had buck teeth. I didn't think I was smart because I had dyslexia. I had lots of trouble learning. So I believed I was kind of stupid. In second grade, my mother held me back because I was having a very difficult time grasping concepts and learning and reading and comprehending. And that only exacerbated the issue of feeling like I was stupid. She explained to me why she was doing it, and I understood, but the kids still picked on me. My father made sure to correct that belief system. He said to me all the time, "Danna, your worth only comes from God. Do not believe anything anybody ever tells you. You are worthy." And that really, really helped. I didn't believe it at first, but then as I've gotten older, I certainly believe it. Once I graduated from college, I went on to Louisiana Tech to gain my degree in fashion merchandising and received a minor in marketing. Soon after college, I moved to Dallas briefly and got a management job in retail sales. And after only living in Texas for 7 months, I decided I wanted to move up to Washington State to go live with my aunt, my mother's sister. So off I went at 22 years old to continue in sales. I worked for years at Nordstrom as a liaison between the skincare lines and the Nordstroms. I pursued both inside and outside sales through those 15 years. I spent many, many years unlearning the hurt, loss, abandonment, and abuse. It was really hard to learn to let go and forgive, but I finally did. And it's been a journey. And I realized that I'm going to be okay and that I am okay. Many years later, I met my husband, and we've been married for 25 years this December. It's been a challenging yet beautiful experience. He's allowed me to be challenged who I am. He loves to challenge me to better me and stretch me, and it's been wonderful. We balance each other. Both of us married in our late 30s. It was our first marriage. We both wanted to have children, but unfortunately, I was very late 30s and I'm starting to experience some female issues, and I was unable to get pregnant. Shortly after I married, I pursued a license in aesthetics at a school in Renton, Washington. It was a holistic school, and it focused on the whole body because the skin is the largest organ and how all the internal organs affect it. This is a passion. I have loved it. I have been practicing and have a spa and have had it for 24 years. I love to help my clients, and it's a passion of mine to help them to feel better, look better, and then focus on them as a whole to try to get their diet and stress levels and so forth, and kind of heal so that their skin can heal. In 2007, we moved back to Louisiana as my mother was having some serious health issues. In my younger years, I lived a very, very active life. I loved the outdoors, water skiing, biking, hiking, skiing, roller skating, gardening, reading. And I tended to be a really good listener, and I still am a really good listener and observer. When necessary or called to speak, I will speak out and be very outspoken about it. As I've gotten older, I don't tend to do as many outdoor activities simply because I struggle with the excessive heat. I spend time indoors mostly creating skincare products from the herbs that I grow, that I sell in my spa. I do a lot of research on topics that I love, healthcare, things that are happening in the world, this new beautiful world we're about to move into, and just various topics of interest. As an adult, I've experienced some inherited issues. Some of them from childhood, some of them as an adult, because there was a window in time there that I lived a wild little life, smoking, drinking, partying, not sleeping. And of course, I put an end to that because that's not who I was. And I realized I was very, very unhappy. As a child, I had scoliosis, not super severe, but I had scoliosis. And that continues with me today, causing a few back issues. I have several crowns in my front teeth and around my mouth. Unfortunately, I believed I might have inherited my mother's teeth. At age 12, I had a baseball hit me in my larynx and did some damage. At age 30, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's and a B12 deficiency. Since menopause, I have addressed some of my hormonal issues holistically. Compound hormone replacement that's not synthetic for the pellets. It's helped a little bit, but I still have some up and downs on my hormones. I was in several car accidents causing my neck and my back severe pain and injury. I have bulging discs in my neck, and thank goodness for QHS because so much of my pain is manageable if I have any at all. From the years that I wore heels in retail sales, I have developed a Morton's neuroma, so it's very painful to wear shoes. I've experienced a heat stroke in 2002, which nearly took me out, and so I have a lot of difficulty in a very hot environment, and hence I live in Louisiana, so it's been difficult to do outdoor activities or even garden much in the excessive heat. I've had several surgery. I unfortunately was stupid enough to get a breast augmentation. I had a lot of female things, related surgeries. I deal with leaky gut and gallbladder issues. I have histamine reaction because sometimes I have mold illness related to that and get skin issues. I'm allergic to dyes and some foods, but I've learned to weed those out of my diet and out of my life. Sometimes those histamine reactions cause asthmatic reactions, so I've had a few breathing issues as well. I have dry eyes and they itch a lot and burn, and I wear glasses oftentimes when I'm on the computer. I don't drive well at night because vision is very blurry. If I read for long periods of time, I can get blurred vision as well. Now, I will say with QHS, my vision has seemed to improve. I have all of my organs except my tonsils because as a child, I had severe earaches. And so the doctor removed my tonsils at age 7. As a child, I was vaccinated. Unfortunately, my parents didn't know any better. And I was fairly sickly. I wouldn't say that I had a very strong immune system. I continued to do vaccinations, some because that was the belief that we needed to do that, but I stopped in 1999 because every time I would get a flu shot or any kind of shot, I would be really sick. For many, many years, I took allergy shots twice a week because I was allergic to everything. As a kid, I had eczema and skin issues and rashy things and bumps on my elbows and back and on my arms. It was crazy. I have educated myself in holistic modalities and stopped the vaccinations, like I said, and addressed my thyroid and B12 holistically. I grow many of my vegetables and herbs, and we cook most of our meals unless we're out of town. I meditate daily. I walk my dogs. I got a lot of sunshine when I can. I just stand up there and hold my arms up and just so thankful for sunshine. And I wear my QHS device 24/7. It is no mistake that I found QHS. I was on Telegram one night in a healing modalities group and found an interview, or I guess it was a Zoom call with the small group. It was early on, talking about this healing bed. And I knew that I was home. I signed up immediately. I could not wait. I was thrilled to join. And I am thrilled to be a part of the future of QHS. I have definitely found my home. I am committed to helping others heal physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Humanity is a precious gift, and I am excited to be part of the QHS future. I am willing to commit to help having some healing centers and to serve where I need in QHS. Post-ARC, my world will be free of the physical, emotional, and mental pain, and I can't wait to have all of my issues corrected. I'm so looking forward to the new me, the me that God created me to be, and I'm also looking forward to healing of humanity.
Join us on the Prequel, where every story matters and every voice is heard. Because here at QHS, we're all about healing, learning, and growing together.